everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to do a layout using the Cozy Up collection, and I'm going to show you some easy tricks to stretch it because I'm getting kind of low on what I have left here. So this is the collection here. I'm using 4 of the pattern papers, and the photos that I'm going to scrapbook are continuing our little weekender down in southern Colorado with a couple of friends, and after our hike we continued down Cordova Pass and stopped at the Apishapa Arch and took pictures. So the pattern that I'm going to use is from the new Make It From Your Heart Volume 6. It is pattern number 16, and I've altered it just a little bit because some of my square pictures are not, they're a little bit larger than 3 by 3. So I've altered it just a little bit. And then I've cut a bunch of images on my Cricut from the Are We There Yet digital file, and also from the You Are Here Cricut collection. So I'll put information in the description below. So here's a quick fix to stretch your patterned papers. Okay, so the base paper, I want it to look like it's this mocha plaid piece. So I'm going to use some white daisy, and it's going to be covered up completely. So I've cut that 12 by 12 of mocha into 3 slices of 3 inches by 12. And then I'll put one at the top and the bottom, and then it's going to look like it's a full piece. Okay, so I'll pull in 2 pieces of this pattern paper with the leaves falling. That's cut at 6 1/4 by 12 according to the pattern. And when it's all put together, it looks like that mocha is the base. Okay, so I'm going to add a little treatment to each of these mocha pieces. This stencil is an older retired stencil, but there's going to be one that's coming up in the September 1st catalog. And I want to kind of mimic the rocks that create the arch. And instead of using the brick stencil, because I thought it would look a little unusual on that plaid pattern, I want to use something that's a little more organic. So I'm going to use this stencil that looks like rocks or stones. And I'm just going to lightly stencil some white daisy on this. And I'm just going super light. I just want it to be really subtle, just a little something interesting up in that top and bottom corner. So I'm just adding some white daisy with a blending brush. I have my Altenew sticky mat that will hold on to both my piece of mocha paper and the stencil. So you just kind of press it down. It's like a giant stamp. It's made out of stamp material, and so you treat it like a stamp, but it doesn't have any of the grooves cut in it for a stamped image. So it's sticky like it would be to load it onto your block for stamping, but instead you just have it this side up and it'll hold on to a stencil and also holds on to pieces of paper. So you just treat it like it's a stamp, so you'll be using a stamp chamois to clean it off. And I'm just going to move the stencil around, and just ever so lightly I'm going to add ink in each of those openings, and I'm just kind of doing some random stenciling here. It's like I said, I want it to look organic and just for a little interest on that plaid. So we'll go ahead and add the last section, and again just really light with the blending brush, and then we're good to go. Okay, so make sure, because you're using a pigment ink, you have to make sure it's completely dry or it will smear. So I'm just hitting it with my heat tool to make sure to speed things up. And then I'm ready to start laying everything down on this piece of white daisy. So I'm just gonna add some tape runner and place everything down according to the pattern. It's a pretty simple pattern. but I am going to have a lot of embellishments on this. So I want to keep my base pretty clean. Okay, so I've done both sides. And now I'm going to add a strip of this scarlet pattern paper. So you could use a zip strip or you could use some shimmer trim. I just decided to use a little pop of scarlet. So I'm cutting that at 1/2 inch. And I'll put those at the base of that leaf pattern paper. And then I'm going to bring in this paprika pattern paper. It has lots of words about autumn. And this is the piece that I've altered. I'm cutting it a little bit larger than the pattern calls for so that it will accommodate my square pictures. I printed them out and they weren't exactly 3 by 3. They're closer to 3.5 inches square. So I needed to alter that base so they would all fit. So I just cut it a little bit larger, and same thing for this other picture. Just a little bit larger. So there's that paprika edging around it. Okay. Then off camera, I have cut mats for my 4 by 6 pictures in honey butter, and then I've added foam tape to the back. So because that square picture is going to be laying over that other one, in order for them to be on the same plane, I need to add foam tape just to the side so that they're all level. Okay, so we'll go ahead and add that scarlet strip. And then we'll continue building the layout. We were stopping along the way to take pictures of the fall colors, and Jill was getting in my picture, and so I told her to get out of my picture, and so that's what she did. She kind of was like, "Here I am," and so I had to take a picture of her for both, but I thought the clouds looked really cool in that picture. Okay, so to center pictures on a strip, I'm just using the measurements on my first mat here. So I'm lining it up so that the 6-inch mark is in the middle of that paprika strip. And then I'm just eyeballing it and placing this picture in the center. This is Jill and Mike's dog, Bailey. We were packed in the back seat. Jill and me and Pixel and Bailey, we all rode in the back seat of their car. But the dogs were happy to be with us. So I'm going to go ahead and add these other 2 pictures and just spacing them evenly along this strip. Okay, so now we're ready to start adding our pictures to the layout. So I'm going to start on the left side and add this 4 by 6 of my husband, and it's going to be 1/4 inch in from the right side there, and just overlapping ever so slightly that scarlet strip. And then we'll go ahead and add this picture of the aspen. And that will be even. And then I'll add this picture of Jill, a little bit cattywampus there. And then that part that's overlapping the photo, it doesn't have any adhesive on it. And that's fine. Once it's in the page protector, it doesn't really need it. Okay, then we'll add this panel with all the square pictures. And the last picture of the arch. Okay. All right, now we can start adding our embellishments. So I cut this adventure embellishment in pine glitter paper, some others in gold glitter paper, and then some various colors from the collection. So I'm going to move these around quite a bit just to see what I like, and then I'm going to create a couple of banner clusters. So I'm just using scraps, and I'm going to cut this piece of paprika pattern paper down. Not doing any particular measurements, so just kind of looking and seeing and trimming it down a little bit more just to be sure it's going to fit, and then I'll dovetail it. So just snip vertically and then take each corner to meet the snip and cut your triangle out, and then you have your banner. Okay, and then this is a Cricut cut from Are We There Yet? And then I'll layer another banner of this scarlet pattern paper. So I've got some of these compass images, and then the inlay image that was cut out. I'm going to use those as well. And so I'll have banners at the upper left and the lower right. And they're going to kind of mirror each other, but not exactly. So instead of using another strip of green glitter paper, since the adventure is made of green glitter, I'm going to use a sticker from the Cozy Up sticker sheet. And I've pulled some leaves also from the sticker sheet. So I'm going to do a little surgery to this sticker, and I apologize, it's off camera. I'll move it under the camera in just a second. So I'm going to create a little arrow image out of this to look like the green glitter one on the upper left corner. So I'm just cutting the end and then dovetailing the other end. I've done some strip journaling on the light side of paprika, and I'm just going to cut these down so that they fit in that space. Just talking about how my husband was having us pose as if we were holding the arch up, and we were taking pictures along the way and where we were and what the date was. Okay, so instead of using the Cozy Up dots, I decided I wanted to dig into my stash. These are old, maybe even 10 years old. They're some sparkles that are in different colors, and you could certainly use our clear sparkles and color them with a tri-blend marker, but I had this collection that was brown and tan, the sparkles assortment, so I'm going to scatter a whole bunch of those all around just for a little extra bling, and I liked the brown color, so we'll scatter a whole bunch around. The teensy tiny ones, they're hard to see on camera here, but they really do make a difference, and they pick up the light. So if you have the bitty sparkles, you could do the same effect by coloring it with, or you could leave them clear. You can color them with a tri-blend. And here's a closer look, and I'll have some still pictures at the end. So I will make a list of all the supplies that I use with links in the description below. You can get the Cricut cuts as well. They're still available. And you can do some shopping. Cozy Up is available as of today. It's still available. You can get the paper and stickers, so I'll leave a link in the description below, and it will be available until the end of August, a couple more days. So I appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, and then you'll be able to find all of my videos. I publish a card making video and a layout video, one each per week. And thanks for watching.